Nation, welcome to Buffs Prime Time here at the Champion Center, University of Colorado. After a bye week, Buffs back in action this weekend at home, actually, against Arizona State before they wrap up the season on the road against Kansas State next week. 6 o'clock game on Saturday night. We'll hit the air at 4 o'clock in the network with the pregame show and then get ready for the Buffaloes and the Sun Devils. Coach Prime is here. Jason Phillips, also Ivan Yates, going to join us. Week off last week. We missed you. What's going on?
It was good. It was very eventful. First of all, we had a good few days of practice before we broke and let the kids kick it for a couple days. But it was good. They got a lot done, a lot of preparation in, and they practiced their butts off.
Did you alter this bye from what you did last time?
Yeah. And you got to really understand your team and where they are and what they need. First of all, you got a lot of injuries. Yeah. So you got to be careful with the contact part of it, and you got to make sure you monitor that and you give them the right practice plan so that it could be advantageous for everyone.
Yeah. So from a health standpoint, you getting some guys back?
Yeah, we got a few guys back. Yeah, we got a few guys back.
Right. Has this been as tough a injury season?
Yeah, it has been, and it can't be explained. Right. Strength and conditioning was exceptional this offseason. I don't think we had one hammy the whole offseason. That says a lot about the strength and conditioning. Swayze did an exceptional job. But when you start the season and sustain that many injuries, it's unbelievable.
It is an odd thing in sports, isn't it? I'm sure you saw this during your pro career. Mm-hmm. There are years when it just seems to you get bit for whatever reason.
Yeah. We did. But thank God that some of the guys that were injured and out for the season, they'll be back, next season prepared and ready and understanding what the expectation is.
You said something during the press conference. Obviously, you were asked quite a bit about Juju during the press conference on Tuesday. You said when you got back, you noticed, he really had his nose to the grindstone.
Yeah, he understands the expectation now. And I think he loves the light of the success of it all. Like, if you just do this and prepare it, these are the results. Yeah. It's going to happen for you, but you got to put in the work. He understands that now, and he's been putting in the work. I'm actually proud of him, how far he's come.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What did you see when he played, when he got that start against West Virginia?
First, it was timid.
Yeah.
Getting the feel for it, understanding that, hey, I'm in a real game now.
Some of that's understandable,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's
very understandable at his age.
Right.
And we let him get to him early on, which flustered him a little bit. But once it settled down, we got some other guys in at those positions of tackles, and we made some changes right off the bat. Now he was able to settle down because he felt like he was going to have the protection. And we gave him the freedom to, hey, man, if you don't like it, change it. Change it. Don't just sit and we call it something stupid in there. Don't just sit in there and accept it. Just change it.
Yeah. Probably the one thing, and it doesn't take long to watch him to see it. That delivery is there. Yeah. That's what you're looking for, right?
Yep. Yeah. We want it more so now, not just on the outsides. We want it in between the hashes.
Okay.
That's what we're looking for, that maturation of being able to pinpoint it in between the hashes. Because he can't really see a lot.
Yeah. I don't have the eye that you do or longtime coaches do, but I just, for doing this as long as I have, sometimes a guy walks out in the field and you go, I'm not sure he belongs there.
Right.
There are other guys you look and go, he
got it. He
should do, or you always look and go, he belongs.
Yeah, he got it.
But Juju's got that.
Yeah.
He looks like he belongs there.
Not only that, he has that intangible that he makes other guys want to play with him and want to compete as such, because now they know, hey, man, if I get a step, that ball is probably going to be there.
Right. Yeah. I did notice out of practice today that the hair is not hanging out the back of the helmet.
Yeah. I told him almost snatched his lace front off. Yeah. He did something about that.
Yeah. If you saw that game against West Virginia, one of the linebackers came through and grabbed him by the hair, and there was a huge pile of hair laying on the field.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
So he was braided up today, so we can kind of tuck that
That's right.
Up in there. Do you see with him the leadership qualities you want from a quarterback?
That's coming.
Is it?
You can't expect everything to come at one time.
Right.
That's coming. It's on its way. He's learning. He's not a vocal guy. He's not a vocal person. But that part of it is coming. It's going to come with more confidence, with more acceptance from those older linemen. It's going to come gradually.
Do you have to be a vocal guy as a quarterback?
No, you don't have to be vocal.
Yeah.
But when you say something, they got to understand you mean it.
Okay.
And it is what it is. Ain't no going back and forth. He said what he said.
You know, I understand on the offensive side of the ball that quarterback voice carries.
Right.
Did it when you played? Did the quarterback voice carry on the defensive side too?
Maybe not on the defensive side, but you understood that quarterback was that guy, and I played with a few guys that were that guy.
Right.
You know, like Troy Aikman and Steve Young and some of those guys. You knew if you did your job and you gave them a chance, they were going to do their jobs.
Yeah. Who was the guy that you have been around? Could have been as a player, could have been as a coach. You said that was the best leader I've seen in sports.
Sometimes the guy who has the L on his shirt is really not the leader. That's the guy that was appointed that.
Okay.
You know, or the C or the captain, what they do in the NFL. Mike Irvin was that guy.
I can see that.
Mike Irvin was awesome. He was really an awesome teammate to have. He was an awesome, energetic human being, and he was the heartbeat of the Dallas Cowboys during the heyday.
Because in the National Football League and in college football at this level as well, they're all alphas out there, right? They're big dogs all over the place, right? No?
There's some dogs and some cats out there too now.
Even in the NFL.
Yeah, even in the NFL. Yeah, and they get exposed every Sunday.
I'll see. There'd be a conversation I'd like to go deeper into.
Yeah,
I'm not sure
it is, but the dogs know the dogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but there are a lot of alphas out there on an NFL roster, right?
It's a lot of men out there. On the way out.
I'm loving this.
You're using alpha too loosely. Yeah.
See what Prime's doing? He's kind of shaving off just a little bit every time I see something.
You're too loose with that.
So when you're a leader in that game, in that league, now that's saying something. I mean, you carry some weight with you.
Yeah, because you're men amongst men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
really
are those guys always vocal, or are they sometimes more of a presence and example?
I'm a just. I hate to use me as an example.
Do it.
I was never vocal. I was never the guy that called the team up and said, "Hey, I balled. I played." Now, when something needed to be said, I may have said it, but I was never voted captain. But I was the guy.
All right.
Mike Irvin was never voted captain.
Serious?
But
really?
he was the guy.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with that comes a little bit of that. I'm using a reference here that only fellas our age will understand. There was a what was it? E.F. Was it E.F. Hutton? Was that
Yeah.
Remember
When people talk.
Yeah. When you so
when E.F. Hutton spoke, everybody listened.
There you go.
Yeah.
They've got that presence. So when the words are said, everyone goes, "Okay, this must be real
this
now."
Is real. This is real. Like if you say, "Hey man, come on, everybody up."
Yeah.
You know, okay, he's getting ready to say something.
Right.
Because he don't waste words.
All right. So you don't have to be a quarterback to be a leader. But
No, not whatsoever. But it helps.
That position.
That's why that position during every guy in the NFL that's prominent, they have that C on their shoulder.
Right.
That's a quarterback. And I don't believe just because he is in that position that he deserves that naturally. But that's what they want. They want that guy to be that.
I think we've all seen in circumstances where they're given the job because of the position, not necessarily.
Yeah, and that's not right. Because now
person,
you create envy on the team, and you create hate and jealousy on the team.
So I ask you these questions because I want to ask you where this team is right now. So the carrot to the bowl game's not sitting out there. What have you seen from this group?
Resilience.
Yeah.
I've seen a team, like I say, guys, we're going to pick two groups out each day that's going to go out there and bust their butt. Which group is going to be first? And you see all the linebackers jumped up. Then I think all the receivers jumped up. They're the first ones to jump. Other guys jumped up, but I said, okay, you guys first. Then after practice, we grade them live and see how did they do. The coaches would say a B or B plus, B minus. Then the next day, I think it was the offensive line. No, it was the tight ends and maybe the D line.
Okay.
And the coaches would grade them verbally in front of everybody. So everybody's been stepping up. Right. They don't want their group to suffer. And not only that, because when you're at this point in the year, discipline starts to lack.
Sure.
And you want to stay on that. So it's amazing. Once we really our guys are pretty disciplined, matter of fact. And we came down early on. We was one of the least penalized teams in the Big 12 in college football, period. Then we started picking up penalties, so I had to crack down on it. But I think yesterday was one infraction. What I mean by that is somebody late for breakfast, late for weigh-in. Today was one infraction. Good. But that whole group, if you're late, your whole group has to run.
Oh, okay.
So they looking at that guy, hey, man.
So if you're a wide receiver that's late,
everybody's got to run.
Okay.
All the receivers got to run. Then if you're late twice or you have two infractions, that whole side of the ball has to run.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
they're not looking at you kindly.
Little peer pressure.
Yes.
That way.
But
yeah.
you want that because that's the way you create unity and you develop a type of chemistry, whether it's holding people accountable or not. That's what they need.
You know, at the press conference on Tuesday, Ben Finiseth came in and spoke.
Yeah.
I know you love Ben.
I love him.
I didn't realize, and he kind of illuminated this for all of us, that he was pushing Juju a little bit early in the season.
But that's who Ben is.
Yeah.
That's why I got the affinity for Ben that I do.
Yeah.
Because Ben is Ben. Ben is going to be the same guy, win, lose, or draw, hurt, not, full speed. Ben is going to be Ben.
Right.
And you got to appreciate that.
Yeah. And if you didn't see that story, Ben then relayed the fact that Juju didn't like it early and was kind of balking at it, but has come back and said, hey, I appreciate the fact
He's a
you
little
were
sensitive.
holding me accountable.
You know, the thing about it, you got to understand, playing your whole life, not playing, you kind of sulk a little bit. You go in your little corner, go in your little web, you find somebody that could have a pity party with you so you're comfortable. But then sooner or later, you got to get out of that mess because the guys are going to hold you accountable. Like, come on, man, you're disrupting your own play.
Yeah.
If you get out of this little funk, you can play.
That's part of the maturation process
That's
you guys
it.
go through.
Yeah.
Is this a big evaluation as you get towards the end of a season?
Yeah.
You got 2 games remaining. You're already thinking way ahead.
Way ahead.
Right. Are you evaluating everything,
Everything,
every snap? the way the guys
everything,
do?
everybody, not only the players but coaches too,
Okay.
and everything in the building. Exactly,
All right.
that's true.
Because it's all right now pointing to the future.
Yeah,
That's what you're looking
right.
at. Yeah.
Right.
Buffaloes in the future this week have got Arizona State coming to town. Again, that's 6 o'clock on Saturday. Thank goodness it's not an 8:30 game. You're happy about it. 4 o'clock with the pregame on the radio, and we'll go ahead and take a timeout. Still have Jason Phillips, Ivan Yates still to come. One more segment with Coach Prime back in a moment. This is Colorado football from Learfield. Presented by Aflac. Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover. Visit Aflac.com to learn more. And the Hilton's on Canyon. Game day in Boulder starts right here. Embassy Suites and Hilton Garden Inn, Boulder, official partners of Colorado Athletics. Back in the show, one more segment with Coach Prime getting ready for Arizona State coming to town on Saturday. One final home game for the Buffaloes, senior day. That's kind of a fun deal in kind of an emotional way.
Yeah, it is, but it's not because it's emotional.
It is.
You know, seeing some of my guys, Arden Walker and JB and Mata and some of the other guys play their last home game is going to be something. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to handle that because some of those guys have been with me since Jackson State.
I was going to say, Mata's been with you the whole time.
Yeah, and they chose that.
JB,
and they chose to take this journey with me, and I respect the heck out of that. But it's going to be something, man.
Arden Walker, I sat down with him earlier today. We did a little pregame piece. I mean, his dad was a Buff. He's a legacy guy. He transferred back here from Missouri. And you see these guys, the way they grow up. You saw, you're talking about Mata and those guys. You saw them grow up. That's the thing about it, I think, makes it so, touching, if you will.
Yeah. And the character that they betray and who they are, you're not going to have that anymore there. Like, when I'm up talking, Mata's sitting in probably the seat that you're sitting in or right here.
Right.
And you're going to miss that face.
Yeah.
Like, when I look out there all the time, I know where Shador sat. I know where Shiloh sat in the back corner, where Cam sat. Like, those places. I know where Ben sits. Like, and you've identified those places, and they're going to be gone.
Well, we talked a lot about with Shiloh and Shador moving out of the NFL. But for a coach like you, there's a sense of that every single year. Because although they're not your biological kids, they're still your guys.
And so many of the other guys that you have befriended and they're your guys because you just have that chemistry and you try to get there with all the guys. But unfortunately, you can't. Yeah. There's too many young men. I think it's 105 on each roster. But it's some guys that you're really fond of. You really want to see them make it in life. You really want to see them soar, whether it's the NFL or not. You just want the best for them.
And do you try to maintain those relationships?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
You want to stay in touch with, text with them or whatever?
Yeah, and I try to make sure that they're all right.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not going pro and you don't have those aspirations, what do you want to do? Because I could help you with a phone call. Just give me the list. What do you want to do? And I promise you I'm going to try my best to make it happen.
Right.
And some of them really do that. They really take me up on that.
Because you've invested in them in 3-4 years.
And I know what kind of character they have. So when I'm talking to a company or that next plan that they have, I'm speaking profoundly truth about who this kid is to them. And they give them the opportunity. I got a visit from my old man Charlie, man. He came back. Yeah, and he is so unbelievable of a human being. He's going to be a tremendous dentist in the medical field. He's going to be a tremendous person and I'm pretty sure he's going to have his own firm in a matter of years.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Impressive young man. Have you ever talked to him about that mustache, though? Have you guys ever had that?
No, we never. I just leave it alone.
You just leave that alone?
Yeah, because it's right there. It's just sitting right there. I just leave it alone.
Yeah, there are some things fashion-wise that shouldn't come back around. I'm not sure the mustache should be, but nonetheless. Hey, before we start talking about Arizona State, you guys Shador starting this weekend in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Proud dad moment. What are you thinking? What are your conversations like?
Take your time. See it. Get completions. Use your checkdowns. Don't try to be more than you are. Just relax and do what you've done your whole life.
Yeah.
Study, prepare, understand defense. He used to study so much that he knew what they were going to do before they did it. So I expect that type of preparation and that type of understanding. I know he don't have the leeway he had here offensively to change a lot of things when he sees it, but I hope to God that he just relaxes and plays his game.
The way this is unfolded, I'm not going to get you in trouble here, but okay, we'll be careful.
There you go.
The way it's unfolded, what is that done for him? Do you think, as a man, as a human being experiencing?
It's taught him patience.
Has it?
Taught him patience, and he's been able to understand wisdom. Like, don't say that. Say that, but say it this way. He's understanding wisdom now and understanding that everything ain't everything sometimes. You got to make that thing your thing. If you can understand that hood talk that I just gave you.
Right. I think I
Yeah,
understand what you're
there
saying.
you go. There you go.
That was a very nice,
Yeah,
shall we say, political answer.
it was. It was. In my way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know this. I understand. Will you just sit quietly in a room this week and watch it, or are you going to try and go out there?
I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet. I've
Yeah.
been urged to go. I'm pretty sure he wants me to go, but I kind of, you want to be out of the way. You don't want to be his distraction.
Yeah.
But not that I would be. But then you think, he came all the way up here to see you.
Right.
So that's even a shorter trip to go see him. You start thinking that as a
Sure.
dad,
Yeah.
because you know what it means to him if he just catch a glimpse of you before he walks out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you show up, there's always a tension. I mean, it's going to
Yeah,
be.
but if that's the case, I would make sure that's not the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
There would be something special about him looking up and saying, "Dad's here."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to understand, okay, does that happen the night before or that morning? So you got to think about all these different thoughts. And I want to win. That's my main thought. I want to win here.
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm in a
yes.
great move.
That's right. Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So
No, I understand.
that's my main thought. Like,
Right, right.
hey, I want to take care of business here.
That's business
Yeah,
number one.
forget that right now. Let's take care of this business.
Is the fire as great in you right now as it's ever been as a coach?
Yes, but it's more controlled
Okay.
because I can't lash out or allow my emotions to take control of what I'm really feeling and thinking. I'm really upset at a multitude of things that I should have put out early on. But you live and learn, and that growth helps you go to the next level in the next phase of your life. So I'm thankful. I'm not one to blame it on my health or blaming it on the availability in off season. I'm one to blame it on you got to do better.
Being around you for 3 seasons, you're as competitive a human being as ever been around, right? So a year like this, where the wins aren't where you want them to be, and then you throw the health stuff on top of it.
Yeah.
Has this been a difficult year for you?
I'm not going to say difficult. I'm going to say trying.
Challenging? Yeah.
Because you got to understand, like, it's one thing for this, what you see in the natural. You see the wins and losses, you see this and that. But you got to understand now, I got a son that's fighting for opportunity. I got another son who's getting sued by something that he didn't even do. I got a daughter who's fighting for minutes on a basketball team in Alabama A&M. I got another daughter who's fighting back and forth with baby's father over custody. I got a mother who some days she may not even recognize what it is. And then you got a team that's not winning that should have won. And you got certain situations in life, and I ain't even got to my health. Some days I'm paying blood, some days I'm not. But that's no excuse to do what you've been called to do.
Yeah.
So I don't make excuses, but there's always a lot on your plate.
Yeah.
So never think someone's plate is clean.
Well, that's the great lesson, right? Because people look at, okay, Prime, he's famous, he's got money, he's a football coach. They should just be winning, period. That's where the thought process stops.
I wish it was that simplistic.
Yeah.
I wish it was. Because you think I would choose to lose. Like I said the other day, like you don't forget how to coach in a year.
Exactly right.
That don't make sense to me. Like you forget, like I forgot. No. It's certain things that you cannot do again that you did to place you where you are. You got to do better.
Because people don't think deep enough and think about the human aspect of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't have to.
No,
and I don't blame them because we created the expectation.
Right,
If we created it, we got to live up to it. And I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Arizona State.
Good team. Because Dillingham, a good friend. He's going to be well-coached team. Going to be prepared. Offensively, they don't have their quarterback, which I thought was one of the best, if not the best, in the Big 12. But they have a guy who's very capable. He can run the heck out of the football. Not a great passer, but he can run the heck out of the football. But he can make some throws that he's very accurate in. We got to disable in this arm that running game, number one.
Right.
They have a defense that's stout. They're pretty tough with the run. We got some guys we like in certain matchups. But when we get the opportunity, we got to hit them. And first downs are vital. Remember I'm saying this. First downs are vital.
Stay on schedule.
We got to 4 yards or more on first down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that takes care of a young quarterback.
Takes care of a young quarterback, period. Now you don't get behind the chains,
Yeah.
and you're not hoping something happens. Now you're in control of what you want to call instead of, let me try this. Ain't got time to be trying that.
All right.
We got to do it.
All right. Remember that for Saturday's ballgame.
Yeah.
Coach, good luck on Saturday.
God bless you, my man.
All right. I appreciate you.
All right.
All right. That's head coach Deion. Coach Prime Sanders here. The Buffaloes will take on Arizona on Saturday, 6 o'clock. Coming up next, Jason Phillips, wide receiver coach, going to join us. This is Colorado football from Learfield. Brought to us by Taco Bell. Hey, Buffs fans, get game day ready with Taco Bell Bus Box for just $7. You'll score 4 Taco Bell Classics and a large fountain drink with a collectible cup featuring Juju Lewis, that is, Draylen Miller, Jordan Seaton, or Quentin Gibson. Big flavor, big value, built for Buffs fans. Only a participating Colorado Taco Bell locations. Liv Moss, the aforementioned wide receivers coach for the Buffaloes, Jason Phillips, joining us here for a little while. Hey, how was your bye week? A little relaxation and did a lot of work, right?
Yeah, I actually, enjoyed the bye week. Had a couple days just kind of relax and kind of unwind a bit, and then get refocused on the next 2 weeks. So it was a great time.
When you are able to get away, how much do you stop thinking about what's going on, or is it just kind of a constant thought process in the back of your head?
You never stop thinking about what's going on, given the situation we're in right now.
right.
You never stop thinking about it, and you never stop hearing about it. I'll say that too.
How would you evaluate the performance of your wide receivers this season?
Well, it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, obviously, our record doesn't reflect some of the things that we've been able to accomplish in the room this year. The production, I thought would be a lot better than what it is currently. but we did have some guys have some big games. Amarion Miller, speaking of, Joseph Williams as well. Just like what they're doing. Just need a little bit more consistency around the other things that involves the game of football from a receiver standpoint. Just doing a better job on the perimeter, not getting penalties and those types of things.
Sure.
But overall, I would say it was somewhere between a C plus and a B minus.
Okay. Last year you had a group that came through here that most of them, or many of them, are in the NFL right now. Is a group like that easy to coach because of the talent level?
Well, here's the thing. Let me sum it up this way. I mean, I think the talent is pretty. I won't say similar, but it's close.
Okay.
I think the biggest thing was maturity. A lot of guys from last year. You had a veteran group of guys, like you mentioned. 3 of those guys were senior guys,
yes,
along with Travis Hunter. And so the maturity, the want to every day going out, and the reality of this is my last year, and going out and playing is the way they played, demonstrated that they had that thought process going into the season. And so the maturity that those guys had, the leadership that those guys had or exemplified, in the room with some younger guys, I think we're missing that piece. Not enough of the guys on this year's roster was in that room with those guys to kind of, take over that leadership role.
Yeah.
I think the one guy that tried to do that early on in the season was Draylon Miller, and, we moved him to running back to kind of help that position. So, I think the biggest issue or the biggest concern or the biggest thing that's different from last year was just the maturity piece.
There is, when a guy sees the light at the end of the tunnel, that the college career is going to go, it changes their perspective, doesn't
It definitely does. I mean, because, as we approach these last 2 games, I'm sure the seniors on this team, those are the last 2 games that are actually guaranteed.
That's right.
So moving forward, they're going to have a different mindset and a different approach to the rest of the season, because this could be the end of it. And you don't really necessarily think about that. Being in those guys' shoes, I never thought about that either at the beginning of the season.
Yep.
It only became a thought process toward the end.
right. When reality hits you.
Yeah,
Holy
reality hits
cow.
you. Right, exactly.
Well, I mentioned a prime. I did a little pregame piece today with Warden Walker, and I asked him about that, and he was making the point that, now he's got aspirations of playing in the National Football League. He's got a great opportunity there. But for the vast majority of players, it's not like being a basketball player. You don't go have a pickup football game on a weekend, right?
No, that's not something you do.
Right. So when football ends, Jason, it ends.
It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
And so for us as coaches that played the game, my extension was to get into coaching, just to kind of stay connected to the game. And
Sure.
so you don't have an opportunity to go, like you said, play pickup games. And I wouldn't want to do that anyway, because there's some guys out there probably as envious and jealous and probably try to break a leg or two.
Exactly right. I got to just name a few of your guys that this season you've had some guys, as you mentioned, have had some nice games. Omarion Miller looks like he could grow into one of those guys we were talking about previously. That really has got an opportunity.
Omarion's future is extremely bright.
Yeah.
I think we all have seen glimpses of what Omarion Miller is capable of in the last 3 years, and this season is no different than the previous 2. I think Omarion can put together a healthy season and be able to put together a string of 6 to 8 games. I mean, we're really going to be pleased with what he's able and capable of doing. We just need to get him more healthy, and keep him on the field.
Obviously, you need hands to be a receiver, but
Sure.
is there something about a guy that becomes an upper level receiver that is beyond that you've
Yeah,
identified?
absolutely. I mean, everybody think the game is played physically. This is more of a mental game than anything. I mean, obviously, your physical talents don't get a chance to show themselves unless you study the game and understand what's going on in front of you and be able to have a plan in order to attack what's going on in front of you, and then your physical attributes take over. So the more you can learn, the more of the game you can learn mentally, it only enhances your physical capabilities.
How about Joseph Williams?
His future is extremely bright as well. It's scary. I mean, Joseph is one of those guys that when he turns it on in practice, you can see what he does in the game. And then when game day gets here, Joe has another element to his game. He's able to transition to a game day Joseph, and which is, fun to watch. And he's very, very, very competitive on game day. And he gets that way at practice at times. So the consistency of doing it in practice, you can tell he's got a bright future as well.
Quentin Gibson is a very young guy that is intriguing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's intriguing to all of us considering what he was able to do in high school. I think
Right.
the biggest thing with him is just transitioning to the college level, the speed of the game, obviously the expectations of being at this place, being here at Colorado under Coach Prime. Winning is the most important thing. Playing the game the right thing is obvious. The right way is obviously something that we all want to do and we strive to do. And I think he's doing a great job of understanding that. And the way his season has gone so far, it doesn't surprise me. I think he's right where he needs to be. He gets a solid spring under his belt, come back for fall camp, and has an understanding of how the college game is played. Then we're starting to see more of the explosiveness that Quentin possesses.
I know you're not coaching the special teams, but I'm just holding my breath, just waiting for him to break one, right?
Yeah, and we all are, and hopefully he don't get broke up, right? Because he's such a small guy running in there, and he runs in there with full intentions of breaking a play,
Yeah.
and there is no fear in Quentin, and so that's something too that you love about Quentin. He plays the game fearless, and for a guy that size, most people they don't play that way at that size, but he plays a lot bigger than what he is.
What changes for a receiving core when there's a change at quarterback?
A lot,
Yeah.
just camaraderie. Obviously, if they've worked with one guy all summer and all off season, I mean, obviously when you change, there's different things that change. The quarterback has to get to know the receivers, what they're capable of, and the receivers have to get to know the quarterback and what he's capable of. So a lot changes, but I think this change for us with Juju moving forward, man, it's been positive. The guys have really, really embraced Juju, and I think they see the competitiveness in Juju, the things that he's capable of doing with his arm strength and those things. So those guys are really rallying around him. And like I tell those guys all the time, it really doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Our job is the same. We're going to make whoever that guy is look good anyway. That's our job. So they've embraced that, and so it's been good to watch.
How much can you improve? We talk in football about guys who've got great hands. How much can you improve somebody's hands?
Well, here's the thing, right? You can do drills. I mean, we do a lot of drills. The thing with hands is, if there are catch disciplines, right? Eyes to the catch, eyes to the finish before you take your eyes downfield. So if you apply those disciplines and then the drills we do with those guys, putting them in situations that may come up in the game so that nothing surprises them, then yeah, you can teach a guy. A guy can be consistent catching the football. His hands may still be somewhat questionable, but if he follows the discipline, he will catch more balls than he put on the ground.
But there are guys that have natural hands, though, right?
There are natural hand guys. I would say Amarion is one of those guys.
Okay.
Joseph is one of those guys. Draylon is one of those guys as well. Guys that has to work on it. Sincere probably, continue to work on it. Gibson. And then Cornell is somewhere in between. So, there are some natural guys out there.
All right. Arizona State this weekend. When you look at them defensively, what do you see?
I see a very, very accomplished team. I see a team that's playing very confident right now, playing, especially on the perimeter, the corners. They're doing a great job of playing within the system. The safeties are doing a great job of playing within the system. They know what they're doing, and they're going to come in here with a lot of confidence. And so, it's exciting because our guys have practiced this week with that expectation, and they're excited to play a team like that, especially the corner number one. He's obviously got some accolades, and I think Amarion is looking forward to that challenge. And so we're all are. And so, it's good. I mean, we want competitive teams coming in here playing against us because we're a competitive bunch as well. So we're very excited about it, and we're looking forward to it.
One last game at Folsom Field. Man, it goes kind of quick, doesn't it?
Yeah, it went a lot faster than I expected.
Exactly right. Hey, Coach, appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, wide receivers coach Jason Phillips joining us. Buffaloes and the Sun Devils on Saturday, 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock pregame on the radio network on Saturday afternoon. One more segment from the defensive side. Ivan Yates out of the secondary going to join us next. This is Colorado football from their field. By Aflac, get health with expenses that health insurance doesn't cover. Visit Aflac.com to learn more. Back one final time here on Buffs Primetime with the Champion Center. Number 29 out of the secondary, Ivan Yates joining us. Welcome.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you on here.
Yes, sir.
How was your bye week?
Can't complain. Can't complain.
Yeah. Now, like a lot of guys, you hung around here.
Correct. Exactly. Yep.
And, try to get yourself mentally ready. Were you still studying film and stuff?
Yeah, of course. Preparation doesn't change. It just gives you a little extra time to do what you need to do.
Tell us a little about your background. Now, you're a Roswell, Georgia guy, right?
Correct.
Where's Roswell at?
Roswell's like North Atlanta, about 20 miles north of Atlanta. So spent my time there growing up.
And you went to Furman for 4 years before coming. How'd you end up becoming a Buffalo?
Spent my time at Furman University, graduated from there, spent 4 years there, and then I hit the transfer portal and made the move here and came out here. So
what was your degree in?
Business administration.
Okay, good for you. Good general degree.
Yes, exactly. I'm currently working on my MBA now.
Look at you, man. Look at you.
Works hand in hand.
You're going to be a CEO at some point in time.
Something like that.
Hey, tell us about your family back at Roswell. Big family, small family?
I got a good family. I'll describe it like that. I have a younger sister, so that's my only sibling. And then my mom's an educator, and my dad's an entrepreneur. So
fantastic.
No doubt.
When football, whenever that comes to an end, what do you want to do?
Time will tell. This is what I love, so I'm kind of enjoying the moments right now.
Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Ride this wave as long as you can.
Yes, exactly.
But I know that being a smart guy and coming from a family like that, you're thinking about post-football. What does that look like for you?
Like I said, truly, I mean, for any athlete, it's always going to be a transition once sports is over. And just playing football since I was 7, it's all I know. Not all I know, but it's something I'm comfortable with and something I love. So that'll be a process trying to figure that out. But I'm sure I'll do it eventually.
I mentioned earlier when I was talking to Coach Phillips that, when Art and I were talking today, that's something unique about your game, right?
Right.
You're done playing basketball. You can go to the Y and pick up games and play. You're never going to play this. When this game is over, it's done for you guys.
Truly. Yes. Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. It's not like you can just go outside or go to a local park and put on pads and a helmet. It don't work like that.
So here you get your final home game, and then next week your final game at CU and in college. Do you start getting emotional? Do you start being reflective a little bit? What do you?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, for me, I think a big part of it's reflection. Of course, like that comes naturally as things are, trickling down. You want to maximize your opportunities and cherish every moment. Ultimately, just having no regrets. So I think that's the biggest thing is everything comes to an end and comes to a close. But I've truly enjoyed my time.
It's got to be, I think, rewarding for you. I would have to think. You come here to Colorado, and as this season's going on, it seems like your snaps are going up. You're making plays out there. That's got to feel good for you, the way you've kind of grown as you've gotten here at CU.
Right, definitely. I mean, it's always a good feeling to go out there and do what you came here to do.
Yeah.
That's obviously what you came here to do or what I came here to do. So, yeah, I've enjoyed that aspect of it, something I've always known I was capable of, just getting a chance to go out there and do it.
Yeah. You can have family in town this weekend?
Yeah, they're going to make the trip. So my sister's going to make her first game out here, so I'm excited about that. And then my parents are going to be here as well to walk out with me for senior day.
Nice. Where'd the athleticism come from? Was mom or dad an athlete at one point?
I'd say it's from my dad. I joke with my dad, though, because both my parents are short. So my dad's probably like 5'7". But he did play collegiate football. He played the D2 level, and he played cornerback. So
all right.
Growing up, he definitely was the person I was going to the field with, and he was giving me all my coaching and challenging me in every aspect. So I love him for that, and I do appreciate him for that.
So with Dad being a football guy, was it always you were going to play football?
Nah. It was. I mean, he was never the type to push it on me, but once I got into it, it was on him. It was on.
Okay, all right.
So yeah.
Were you ever a basketball guy, baseball guy, anything else?
I ran track growing up, so I enjoyed track. Just naturally, I was always fast. So I enjoyed that aspect of it, and just the ability to compete with yourself and compete with your times consistently. That was I enjoyed that process truly.
What will you take away from your season here at the University of Colorado, being a Coach Prime's team?
Right. So many things, honestly. I don't even know how to sum it up. But I'd say this season specifically, just staying consistent and staying consistent, I guess, would be the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Knowing that, hey, making sure that your preparation is that you're prepared when your opportunity presents itself.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing is just maximizing opportunities and staying prepared, not knowing when the opportunity is going to come.
It is a heady thing being around this program, isn't it? You're walking because first there's Prime, right?
Right.
You walk down, there's Marshall Falk, and there's Domata Pecco, and there's Coach Sam. I mean, it's a different environment here, isn't it?
True, it is. Yeah. Yes, but it's amazing to have that much knowledge, and I'd be wrong as a player to not apply and truly take heed and listen to what they're saying on a daily basis, and not only what they say, but
Sure.
how they carry themselves.
Yeah.
Speaks volume.
Well, I tell you what, it has been fun watching you grow this season. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. And even though you've been a Buff for 1 year, but you can always come back here.
No doubt. I appreciate that, truly. Thank you.
Congratulations on all
Awesome.
you've done. All right, there he is, Ivan Yates, player for the Buffaloes. He'll be walking out for his final time on Saturdays. Buffs will take on Arizona State on Senior Day at Folsom Field, 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock with a pregame for Coach Jason Phillips, for Coach Prime, and for Ivan.